Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar today. We'll get started shortly, but thanks a lot to everyone who's here already. We'll just wait till it's time, but just for now, if you could familiarise yourself with GoToWebinar and find the questions panel, just send me a message letting me know where in the world you're connecting from today. I'd love to know, and what the weather's like where you are as well. I'm connecting from my hometown of Brisbane, so that's in Queensland in Australia, and it's known for pretty good weather, so it looks like it's going to be another warm one today. So I'd love you to send that through in the questions panel to let us know. So it's just gone the hour, so we'll kick off now as well. So thanks everyone for coming along. So today we'll be going through what you need to do to get leads from your website, how you can turn it from just something that's a bit of a brochure or a business card that's a bit static into something that's actually generating you leads. So a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. Use that questions box to submit your questions and just put them in there as we go along during the webinar. This webinar will be recorded and the slides are in the handout section as well, but you'll get a copy of all the resources and all the links and things that I mentioned. We'll put it in the post-webinar email as well. And the last thing is please bring up your current website. So if you have one currently, please bring it up on your phone or on another tab in another screen. As we go along, I'll call out different action points. So I just want you to check that you have them on your website. And if you don't, they're your little action points from today's webinar. So a little bit about me first. I'm Anthea, Head of Growth at BizInc. I handle the marketing for BizInc, and I also help our clients with their marketing. So I've worked exclusively with accountants and bookkeepers and our financial planners too, helping them with their websites and their online marketing as well. I've actually grown up surrounded by accountants, and my dad's a chartered accountant too, so it seems like I can't escape it really. And through my work at BizInc, I've worked with clients across the world, which is really awesome. And we've just relaunched some website packages. Today we're going to be talking a lot about websites, but BizInc does more than just websites. We also help you with a range of online marketing tools and techniques and things to help accountants and bookkeepers with the whole marketing cycle. So we've just launched these website packages again with a bunch of new lead generating features. So Camilla's going to put a link. Camilla's on the webinar today as well to help me out, and you'll hear from her a bit later. She'll put the link to those packages in the chat box now as well, so you can check them out as we go along. So what we'll cover today, here's a quick look at it. Firstly, we'll talk about website essentials. So everything I'll talk about today is based on our experience at BizInc and working with hundreds of firms across the globe. So we'll let you know what we've learned from that. So websites essentials, that's what's absolutely necessary for a good website. Then we'll talk about design. This is something that often people get caught up with a bit, and I'll let you know why it's not as important as some people think. Then simplicity. So this one you'll probably see as a bit of a theme throughout the webinar too. It goes a long way in marketing. Then the winning website structure. So this is what we found works in our experience with these leading firms across the world. So actually the answer to this is in step 3, keep it simple. Then how to turn visitors into clients. So it's often a problem for many people. They're getting website traffic, but does that convert to clients? We'll show you some cool little tricks to turn them into clients. And lastly, apps and add-ons. These are awesome little extras that will take your website to the next level as well. So we'll keep the webinar really simple today, but I know some of you just don't have the time or don't really enjoy websites and marketing. BizInc can help you out with building a great site. So all you need to do is head to bizinconline.com, and under the websites panel, you'll find the website packages link as well. So you can have a look there and then book a time to chat to us too. So do you get leads from your website? So Last year, BizInc surveyed over 400 accounting and bookkeeping firms across the world, and we asked them this question on screen, and here are the results. So we found that 44.3% of people aren't getting leads from their website. So that's basically the purpose of today's webinar, right? To help you with that and help you turn your website into a lead generator. So let's get into it. Why do you need a website? So hopefully you know that in 2018 you do need a website, but sometimes we still do get people saying, well, I get all my business from referrals, so why would I why do I need a website on top of that as well if I've already got plenty of clients coming through that? But I'll give you 3 reasons today, and the first one actually does relate to referrals. So your website seals the deal with referrals. So the typical situation is one of your clients is talking to their friend who has a business and they're looking for an accountant or a bookkeeper, and your name's recommended. The first thing that person's going to do is head to Google and search. They're going to do their due diligence, check out your website, check out that you are as credible as that person has been saying. So yeah, probably most of your business will come from referrals, but your website does play a really important part in that. And the second one is not all of your business has to come from referrals. So marketing and in particular online marketing can be a great way to get more leads. So I'll give you some more examples later on, but search engines like Google is just one example. They're processing tons of searches per second, and some of them are going to be for accountants, some of them are going to be for accountants in your local area too. So without an online presence, you just don't exist as an option to those people either. And the final reason that you need a website is for existing clients. So some of the best firms we've worked with, some of our clients use their website as a hub to work with their clients, to share documents and share content. So it becomes an important part of that relationship too, and helps them retain those clients. So now we'll look at the winning content structure, the winning structure we see for a website. So it starts with the homepage. This one's kind of an obvious one, but the purpose of this page is to make it inviting and to engage a visitor so that they dig deeper and go further into your website. So what you're trying to do with this page and with the whole website, you'll see this is a bit of a theme of the webinar too, is to build trust and credibility. Trust and credibility is really why people choose you over other firms, and that's the key thing to build when you're marketing your firm, especially the industry that you guys are in. It's so important, you guys would know that. So although the homepage is going to get a fair amount of traffic, like probably the most, don't put all your focus on that and then neglect the other pages. We've seen some firms put a huge amount of effort here and then they've kind of not thought too much about the other pages, so you don't want it to be disjointed like that. There's lots of things you can put on the homepage as well, like images, content about yourself. Just don't try and do everything. Don't try and tell the whole story of your firm and force too much content. I'd say that the homepage image as well plays a really important part in this on whether or not your site is inviting too. So have a good think about what image you'd like to be the first thing that people see when they hit your website. One thing that you need on your homepage and right throughout the website is a call to action. So calls to action, they're a bit of a website jargon term, but it's basically something on your website that encourages a visitor to do something. So some common examples are like a buy now button or download our free ebook or complete the form below. You've probably seen these all across the web. They're really, really important. They turn someone from being just a visitor into someone that's getting in touch with you as well. So it's particularly important on that homepage, but definitely right throughout the website. And the reason for this is people are lazy, right? They won't look around. Your competitors are only a click away. So if people are researching local accountants, they could easily have your competitor's site open as well and can easily just close that tab, click away, move on. So you want to make it so that they're actually getting engaged with you. So some examples, what I've recommend for you guys, I'd have a phone number on every page as a minimum. I'd also include your email address as quite a necessary one as well. You just want to give people different options like to get in touch with you. Others that you could have like a book a meeting button or a live chat option as well. So just make it stupidly easy. Make it really simple to get in touch with you. So this is action point number 1. This is where I want you to bring up your current website and have a look. So I mentioned there'll be a few of these throughout the webinar. So this is the first one. I want you to bring up your website, have a look at the homepage, and have a look at it with fresh eyes. Try and look as if you were a prospect. Is it easy to get in touch with you? Can you see your phone number? Can you see your email address? Is it simple? And be honest about this. If it's not, then that's the first thing you need to tweak. Write that down. That's action point number 1 for today. Is it easy to get in touch? So I'll show you an example on one of our clients' sites. So they have make an appointment booking in the top there. They've also got their phone numbers, both the free one and the standard. They've got their contact us button, their contact page, which has been highlighted with the blue background there. And they've also got the contact form here, which is actually a lead magnet in this instance. So I definitely recommend having a look at those things as well. It's really critical. So next we'll talk about the About Us and the team page. So often I get some questions about this as to what we'd recommend, and sometimes one page, sometimes it's split into 2. It's okay to just have one. It depends on your firm and where you're at, what size your team is, and just how you want to split that up. So basically it's just a good way to communicate your personality. And we view it as the second most important page of the website. And it's because we did some research into our clients' website statistics, and we found that the team page was the second most viewed page on 90% of our clients' websites. So the first being the home page, the second most important, most viewed page is the team page. And that makes sense, right? That tells us that people want to see you, they want to see your team, they want to see who they're working with. So it's true, like in any form of business, that people buy from people. They like that human element, but especially for you guys in the relationship business, the more you can humanize your website, the better. So use these pages to communicate your personality. You might mention your hobbies or your interests outside of accounting too. And the thing is, especially with the About Us page, although it's about you, you should really make it about your client. So people are interested in what's in it for them. They're not really bothered about a long history of your firm or, confusing mission statements or things like that. If they want to work with you, they want to know what's in it for them. So avoid marketing language like, we are the leading firm or we are renowned for this. We see that a lot, and it just kind of switches people off. So just keep it simple and make it about them. For the team page, we'd suggest you get some good photos taken, and this is better than, stock images of people laughing in a spreadsheet that we've seen before as well. Don't get mug shots taken either. Make sure that they're good professional looking photos and have something that communicates your personality too. So here's an example from one of our client sites. So these guys are in the US. They've got these little caricatures created as well, which is really great. It's a good way to bring that personality and do something a little bit different on the homepage, a bit different to the typical accountant as well. You might not do exactly this, but we would suggest getting some photos taken of you and your team, even if you don't have a particularly big team. But here's another example of one of our clients in Canada. It's just her working there at the moment. So what she's decided to do is just do the one About Us page, but make it a bit more personal and put a photo of herself up there as well. So like I said, this could be an option if you've got a smaller firm too. So the next part is about case studies and testimonials. Good feedback from clients is a really powerful way to convince people to work with you, right? So I'd suggest getting these case studies and testimonials up on your site if you don't have them already. Testimonials are like those shorter statements from clients that affirm your performance and your quality. And case studies usually go a bit more in depth, so they're really results focused, a bit longer, and show the outcomes that you've gotten for these businesses. I'd really recommend getting a case study as well. Think of we all have a client we particularly like, and we know would be happy to do that for us. So go talk to them. And the good thing about this is it doesn't just have to go onto your website as well. So I'm thinking about all the different ways that you can use this in your marketing, you know, in an email, in a campaign. There's a whole host of different ways. So I definitely have a look at that as well. So these, they give people a reason to believe that you do what you say you do, and they confirm, you know, what's on your services page, what's on your About Us page. It's hearing from somebody else, hearing from real people that are similar to them. I mentioned that trust and credibility as well. It's a bit of a theme, and this is another way to build that too, to demonstrate that expertise as well. So it just might tip a prospect into a paying customer. So I'd recommend looking at this. I'll show you an example of a cool one. These are one of our clients in Auckland in New Zealand. So they've actually got a bunch of testimonials and case studies, but not just in writing. They've also gone and got videos, and this is their homepage. They're using these as their homepage images. So the first thing you see when you land on their site is actually images of real people. They're not stock photographs. You can tell that they're real, and they've got the quotes there as well, and they can go and click to watch that video. So these guys do this really well. So now the services page. I'd recommend that this page should be pretty brief. Some websites have lots and lots of services, like 17 different tabs dropping down from the services menu. It just makes people switch off. I know it still makes me switch off as well. So we think that this would just be limited to just a few pages, keep it really simple. It's better than having like complex pages full of technical descriptions of what you do. You just need to keep it simple again. And the reason for this is, like, most prospects, most business owners, they don't actually know what they need, right? It's not till you get in that first meeting with them that you get actually chatting to them, and you can understand a bit more about the ways you can help them. And you guys that understand that too, sometimes what they say they need is different to what they actually need as well. So the things that are really valuable to them are probably going to come out when you chat. And sometimes they don't even know. So the thing about this is, accounting websites, they're not impulse buys. They're not e-commerce sites where they just click and buy, right? So they're going to hire you based on trust, not just on this long list of services. So the main purpose is to get that conversation started. They want a bit of information, and then we want the calls to action here to get them in touch with you. Don't let a huge, like, long technical list get in the way of people getting in touch. So on that page and right throughout your website, you want to avoid using jargon too. So jargon's always a bit of a mistake. I've mentioned about not having technical descriptions. So don't use accounting terminology that we're not going to understand. Use very basic language. It's best to use like case studies as well, sprinkled through here, and to show the outcomes that you get for clients. Right, so the next is content and blogging. So far we've said to keep the content fairly simple, but you might add a bit more depth in your blog. So the content that people want to read about is content that speaks to their pain points. So we call that expert content. It can be really beneficial to have this on your website too. So if someone comes to your website and they see that you're writing about their pain points, things that they're struggling with, it's likely to resonate with them and build that trust again. So business advisory content's good. I'd suggest avoiding like compliance and tax content. They're not interested in that stuff. That's why they're hiring you, right? So use your blog to show you that personality, to differentiate yourself, to write about their pain points. And it's also a good way to keep your site updated. It's got a few benefits, including SEO and just keeping your site fresh. So if you don't want to write that stuff, there's specialist companies that can do that, including BizInc. There's a couple other different types of content you could add as well, like partner content. So this is somewhere that BizInc can help out as well. So for example, like Xero advisors, if you're a Xero partner, you could have a page on your website with information about their products, their software, and how you help. And that way that saves people going off to the Xero website to find out about that. That keeps them on your site, and you can own that relationship then. And then with those calls to action, with a few other bits and pieces I'll talk about shortly, you'll be converting them into leads as well. So the contact page, believe it or not, I have actually seen websites without contact pages. So action point number 2, do you have a contact page? Go and check that now. I would say that this is an essential, but you don't want this to be the only way for people to be able to contact you. Like I said before, in that calls to action section, you want it on every page, your contact details to be easy to see. Usually, sometimes people put it up in the top right corner of a website. So that's generally where people look for this kind of stuff as well. So just give people lots of different ways to get in touch with you. Don't overwhelm them, obviously, but just, email as well as a phone number and, maybe appointment booking, a couple other things. I'd also say on the contact page, have a contact form, obviously that email and phone like I mentioned, but also like a Google map as well. So especially if you have a physical office, it can, makes it easy for people to find you. But there's also another little awesome benefit of adding a Google map to your site. It actually you can link it to your Google My Business listing, and it can help your search engine ranking as well. So it does have some SEO benefits. Your web team should be able to help you sort that out if you haven't got one there, but get in touch with BizInc if you don't have a web team, or if not. Sometimes I get this question as well, if you're a virtual firm and you don't want to particularly add that Google map there, or even attract clients from your local area, you might not put that there. It is up to you. It can just be a good way to get that local connection as well. So that's it for the winning structure. Hopefully you've kind of got that already. It's fairly common sense. It's not anything really groundbreaking. A homepage about us, team page, services, and a contact page essentially. So it's really quite simple, which again is the theme of the webinar. And we've found that those simpler sites, they work the best. That's what we found with working with hundreds of firms across the globe. So now there's a few other things that you can put on your website to turn it from a website that's just like everyone else's into a website that can bring in some leads for you. So we'll jump into that shortly. Firstly, I just want to run a bit of a poll. So the question is, do you get leads from your website? So Camilla, if you could please launch that poll. I'll get you all just to quickly answer that, and we'll share the results as we go. So do you get leads from your website? While this is going, I'll just take a sip of water. I'm sorry. Right, Camilla, if you could close off that poll and share the results. So 42% of you do get leads from your website and 58% don't. So compared to our original stats when we surveyed 400 firms last year, the results we've got today are a little bit worse. So what we found was 44.3 from memory. So today it's up nearly at 60. So it shows that this is a really important topic. So we'll get back into the webinar today and show you how to get some leads from your website now. So lead magnets. There's an alarming fact that most visitors to an accounting website will never get in touch with you. And that's probably the experience for most of you guys. That's just the nature of the profession, and you're probably aware of that. So it's because people procrastinate and they take a long time to make that decision. And that's quite understandable. Switching advisors, switching accountants, it's not a quick decision and impulse buy like we were talking about before. So how do you turn website traffic into clients if people aren't getting in touch? And the answer to that is lead magnets. So lead magnets are an exchange of value. You give away something valuable in return for something else valuable to you. So we suggest you give away some content on your website in return for a visitor's email address. So often you see like ebooks and things like that as an example. Why is that valuable? Why is getting an email address valuable? Well, once you have that, you've got their permission, they've opted in, you've got permission to keep talking to them too. So that means if you do keep talking to them, that means when they are ready to switch, when they are ready to engage an accountant, you're top of mind then. So I'll show you an example. So this is an example on one of our client sites in America. Again, they're Xero partners, so we've given them our Learn Xero in 7 days lead magnet. So how it works, the business owner comes to the site, they enter their email address, and then they get a 7-part email course. So we have built email marketing into the back end of our websites as well. So all the automated lead nurturing emails go from there. So it's real simple. There's really no effort on your part. At least that initial contact, they're being kept in touch with. It's just about nurturing them until they're ready to book that call and to get in touch for that initial meeting with you. So it's a value exchange. You get the email address, they get content, and you get permission to keep contacting them. So these are awesome. I'd really, really recommend you get one of these onto your site too. Find a piece of content that resonates with your audience. If you've chosen a niche or gone really focused, this will be a bit easier. But we have some things like business plan courses and things that are a bit more generic, or cash flow that applies to most businesses, most small businesses anyway. So yeah, once you've got that email address, keep in touch with them. We call this nurturing until their sales ready. And it's because people buy when they want to, right? Like sometimes it can be quite quick. That's the good thing about referrals, is they're typically warmer. But leads that come through the website, they've got to get to know you first. They've got to trust you first. So that can be a waiting game. It might be 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. Matt, our CEO, talks about it took him 3 years to kind of nurture one of our clients into a sale as well. So that's why that email address is so valuable, because you can keep that nurturing up until they are ready. So send them some valuable content and some information over time, but don't be pushy or salesy. I know there's a line there. You've got to watch that as well, but just keep in touch. So lead magnets, they come as standard in most of BizInc's website packages. So you'll see Camilla's put that link to the website packages in the chat now. So you'll be able to see the lead magnets in those packages as well. So design, I mentioned that it's less important than most people think. And I'm not saying that you should have a shabby or a poor looking website. It's just we see firms spend a lot of time and money on design, but not enough on good structured content or a lead magnet. We've all got like a limited budget to get a website done right. So you've got to don't splash all that on the design element. You've got to think about the other parts of it too. And like in 2018, it's pretty easy now to get a good website that doesn't cost you too much. So if you have that extra money, I'd recommend putting it into marketing, putting it into content, getting the right stuff on there as well. So that's all I'll say about that. Don't spend all your time stressing about the design of your site. So now we're going to talk about the essential parts of a website. So here on screen it says mobile friendly is essential. If your website isn't mobile friendly and someone searches on their phone, on their mobile, you won't appear in Google. And like that's really bad, because the majority of searches now are from mobile. So if you're not mobile friendly, you're just not even an option. You're not even displaying when, you don't exist for those people. So there is a way to check, and Camilla will put a link to this in the chat as well. So you can check by using Google's mobile friendly test. So this is action point number 3. Do you have a mobile friendly website? So Camilla will put the link to the Google test mobile friendly, and that'll check. The other thing is we check this for you in our website audit. So Camilla will also put a link to that in the chat to the website audit. So we can check this out as well, among quite a few other things that we'll talk about today. So you just want to make sure it's easy to navigate on mobile, make sure it's user friendly. Also, if while we're going along, if you want to bring it up on your phone as well and just assess like visually for yourself, obviously it needs to pass Google's search test in order to be shown in the searches, but just have a look. Is it user friendly on your own phone? If you do fail that test, go and get a mobile friendly website. I really would encourage you to do that. It's it's where the world's going. We all know, we all do it. We're all using our phones for this stuff anyway. So it's much easier to just get a new design, a new mobile-friendly design, than try and make your old site mobile-friendly. Trying to retrofit mobile friendliness onto an existing website is quite hard. So I just recommend it, investing in a new mobile friendly website. And all BizInk websites are mobile friendly as standard, because we understand that the world that business owners are operating in, and they're on the go and using things on their phone. So your website needs to be mobile friendly too. So your website provider should offer that as well. It's 2018, that should be standard, and they are on BizInk sites too. So another thing is security. I've got a few things here that aren't strictly lead generating, features, but they kind of are, because if you don't have them, you'll probably lose leads. So this one is about a secure certificate. So it's called an SSL certificate. It's a bit of a website jargon term again, but it's a Google requirement. So you need to have one. Basically, that's the fact of the matter. So having one means the traffic between you and the website is encrypted. So that's a good thing. If you don't, then Google will show not secure next to your web address. So if you don't have that secure certificate on the back and the front end of your website. So I'll show you an example of that shortly, but it really is a good look. That isn't a good look if you have that not secure message coming up. So the actual security risk of your details being hacked may not be that high, but it's just not a good look, especially for you guys dealing with people's finances. Like I've said, that trust and that credibility is vital. That's what we need to be building. So if you don't have these things, well, you need it basically. So that's that HTTPS. You may have seen that when it's that S bit for secure when you're on websites you've been browsing. So BizInk looks after your secure certificate as well, so it comes included in your package. It's just standard. We just know that this is what's needed nowadays to run a business and to have a website that shows up in Google. You just need to have it. So as soon as the site's live, we'll add that as well. So here's an example when the site is not secure. So it shows that your connection to this site is not secure. You don't have that SSL certificate, and it's telling you there not to enter any sensitive information. So you can see it's not a great look, and no HTTPS there either. So now I'm just going to quickly talk about a couple of little extras. So these aren't, I wouldn't class them as necessary, but when we're working with the leading firms, often we see these things just to give your site a bit of a boost. So two I'm going to talk about today. The first one is appointment booking apps. So you may have used this before. So there's like Calendly has a free version, so that's awesome, and also Acuity, which is what we use at BizInk. There's probably a couple of extra out there, but we'll send some links to those ones in the follow-up email. So a good way to see this in practice, if you go to bizinkonline.com and click book a demo, you'll see it pops up in an app where you can choose times to talk to someone in our team. So that's very similar to the way it could work for you guys as well. And this was a really awesome thing to add to our website. When we did, the amount of demos that got booked with us went up by 1/3, just because we made it easier for people to book a demo and made it easier for people to get in touch with us. Just the things that I've been talking about through the webinar. It's about making it easy and simple for people to get in touch. And it also was awesome because it removed some 10 minutes of admin time per booking. So, saves that email tennis going back and forth about, who's free when, are you free Wednesday? No, I'm not free till next Friday, things like that. So it just saves it. It books out the time you're busy, and they can book in when you are free. So you've just got to be diligent in booking out that time. You can set it up. I usually get this question. People are worried about, that they're going to suddenly get inundated with bookings, but it's easily managed. That's what these things are built for. So I'll send some links to those in the follow-up email as well. And the next one is live chat. So this one might not be for everyone, I understand. I have seen it work really well though. It's usually in the bottom right-hand side of a website, so kind of pops up, people can chat, kind of like an instant messenger thing. And often, yeah, we get these same reservations that they don't want to have to, you guys don't want to have to man it all the time, or they're going to, again, suddenly get inundated with lots of messages. So if you're at your desk and it's just sitting there open, it shouldn't be a problem to respond. You're not suddenly going to get heaps of messages, or it shouldn't be unmanageable anyway. If you are in a bigger firm and you have like a receptionist or somebody who's answering the phones or dealing with the emails, then why not just add this option as just another way for people to get in touch, another method of communication that people actually use now. So there's some options for this as well. Zendesk Chat, OLARC, or vCita are some options. You can see an example of this working on the BizInc side as well, bizinconline.com in the bottom right-hand corner. You can chat to us there as well. And that's not using a bot, it's chatting to us in person as well. So there's some cool options there, and I'll send those links as well. Just to sum up what we've talked about today, before we get into questions, the winning content structure. So I've said that it's quite simple. The homepage, about us, team page, you might combine those two, a services page or two, but keep them simple, and then a contact page. I said don't spend all your budget on design either. It's just get a good looking website, but don't blow all your budget here. I said less is more, so keep it simple again. Make it stupidly easy for people to get in touch with you. So make it really easy and to get in touch with you in the way that they prefer. So that's why you need to have, a couple of different options there with phone and email and contact form, and then also, appointment booking or live chat if you want to. And then I've said lead magnet, so turn visitors into clients in that way. So, again, website traffic is great, but how does that turn into clients? How does that turn into leads? So add some things like lead magnets, which BizInc can provide as well. I've said the essentials are mobile friendly and a secure certificate. So it's just, they're essentials, they're necessary, they're vital for a business in 2018. So make sure you get them, make sure you get a website provider that's offering you these as standard, which BizInc does as well. And the last thing is those apps that can add the value once those basics are done. So the live chat and the appointment booking, and there's a couple other bits and pieces, but sort those basics out first. Right, so I've also got a special offer for you all for September. If you sign up for any BizInc product, you'll receive a free marketing blueprint session, which is worth $999. So if you sign up for any product in September, you'll receive this as well. So this session is one-on-one session with one of our marketing specialists to develop a marketing strategy and a plan, a 90-day action plan following that as well, that's unique to your firm. And you can see on screen there, like it says, your ideal prospect and their pain points. So it's all about the clients that you want to attract as well. But step one is to book a demo with us and have a chat. And look into that first. So Camilla will shortly put the link to book a demo into the chat box as well. Have a chat to us first, and then we can sort this out as well. So now we'll get into some questions. Thanks everyone for coming along today. If you have any questions, we'll have a look at them now. So Camilla will come on shortly to ask me some of the questions.
Hi everyone, my name is Camilla. We've got a few questions here. So the first question is from Ali. Ali mentions that they have been told that the homepage should be second page, that the first page should be a sort of a funnel page where you have all the calls to action, like buy now or click here. I'll be a bit careful with that. It may appear a bit spammy to users, so I would stick to good old homepage and have subtle call to actions and lead magnets on the homepage, so people actually land on your homepage, and they will also have a chance to sign up for your lead magnet wherever it is. So that's that. And Ali actually asked another question, probably not a question, but it's a good point in terms of the mobile friendliness and how mobiles basically are really popular. So they traffic for smartphones went from 12% to 67%. So that's really nice to see, and you can see how mobiles are becoming popular and how crucial it is to have a mobile friendly website.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question we've got from Linda, and that is regarding to SSL certificate, so secure certificate. So you can, she's asking how you can get an SSL certificate. So you can purchase this from your domain provider. All the BizLink websites are coming with SSL certificates, so we all can take a of SSL certificate for you, and we also renew it, because obviously you need to renew the certificate as well each time. So that's all taken care of with our website. Okay, so again, a question from Ali. How would I do a chat? So we will send you a list of third parties for chat applications as well. So you will be able to install that on your website, and basically every time on BizLink website, for example, every time the chat someone fill in the chat message, we get notified as well. So really easy to use. Okay, so yeah, so I've got a question here. Here's from Joe as well. Are you able to recommend any add-ons to manage lead magnets for WordPress websites? So yeah, we can do that. We actually have some examples that we can actually use as well, which we use for our website. So that we actually develop these ourselves. But we can also send you a list of some add-ons as well that you can use. Okay, so I've got another question here. What's the best way to attract new leads? So do you want to go on, Antia?
Yeah, sure. I'd say, yeah, this question does come up, but unfortunately there's no one answer. Yeah, it's a range of things sometimes, and sometimes it's just timing as well. So you've just got to, it's a combination, and I'd say that a website is a critical part of that. So like I've been saying, it's about that trust and credibility. So have some lead magnets there and have all those bits and pieces in place. Unfortunately, there's no one way to, that's, you know, super obvious. If there was, we'd be trying it too, or we'd be telling you to do it as well. But definitely look into the lead magnets, and also talk to your connections as well. Often it's you're in the relationship business, so talk to your people that you already know.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything, like different things works for different people, so it's good to have a combination of different things as well, because some people prefer reading email, some people prefer call you directly. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, sorry, Camilla, I think that blended approach works well too. Sometimes it's a case of seeing that same messaging across an email and you know, social media, and it's just keeping your firm top of mind and seeing it in multiple spots too.
Okay, so I've got another question here from Jane asking, do you provide blogs we could use with your websites?
Yeah, so BizLink actually has a blog writing service, so you can get this as separate, or we include it in our website packages as well. So we've got a content writing team that have been writing for over 20 years, so they've also worked with some big banks like Bank of America and ANZ, and even like MYOB and Microsoft they've been writing for. So those guys have big budgets, and they've kind of invested in researching what content actually gets read and listened to. So there's things like writing about advisory content, not instead of tax content and compliance content, and writing about things like business plan because people are searching for that. And having those sorts of things. So we do include that in our website packages too. So you'll see on screen in the Pro pack that's highlighted, it says library of 200 blogs and new blogs every month. So there's a library there, and we add 4 new every month, and it's super easy to use. We train you as well just to how to post them, and they connect to social media too. So short answer, yes.
Okay, so let me just check this. Okay, so I've got another question from Ali. For a small business in more of a startup mode, best method to ramp up email addresses as opposed to organic growth from web page calls to action. So we can provide you with, we can send you all a link where you can actually generate the email, look up for email addresses. So you look up the businesses in your area and type in business, and it will come up with the contact email addresses, and you can actually contact these people, these prospects, using these email addresses. So there's a actually I'm gonna send one. I'm gonna paste the link into a
Just
chat.
on that, what I'd say for that is, I guess it's like outbound or outreach marketing. So if you were looking for another way, you'd this especially works if you do have a niche or a target. You know, if you're targeting tradies or franchisees or something, you might be able to find a list of, you know, whether it be website addresses, and then these tools that Camilla is talking about, then they can go and grab those email addresses. So you'd be reaching out to them. And this is where I was talking about before, like the case studies. If you're ever wondering about what content to put into that initial outreach email, you know, you might use a case study to show how you've helped people like them, or you might use other bits and pieces that build your credibility, because it's the first email they've received from you. They need to get to know you first. You know, it's not likely that they're going to pick up the phone and call you just then. It's got to be that nurturing. So you want to reach out to them from your inbox initially, not from anything like a MailChimp or any bulk email that needs to come from your personal inbox then.
So that's all the questions we have for now. I mean, if you have okay, I've just got another question here. Do you train in how to update the website content, or just do it for us? So yeah, we do train you. So as soon as your new website is live, we will arrange a training with you, and we'll train you on everything. Basically, you'll be able to control almost everything on your website. There are certain bits that needs to be done at our end, but almost 90% of your website it's in your control, so you'll be able to manage it.
Cool. So if that's all the questions for today, thanks a lot for all of you guys for coming along today and sending in your questions and participating. Hopefully you have that basic structure in place, but if not, definitely look at going and getting that. And you've got, you know, some options there with the lead magnets and the lead generating side of things. If you're interested in anything that we've spoken about today in terms of BizInc, or any other questions at all about websites or marketing for accountants and bookkeepers and planners, please send us a message. So you can either book a demo online, all those links that Camilla sent through, grab that website audit so we can assess your current website, and we'll check all these things out for you. And yeah, there's also going to be a survey just after we finish up this webinar. So if you'd like to know more, just let us know then as well. So thanks everyone. Thanks for Camilla for jumping on as well with the questions, and we'll I'll end the webinar now, and we'll chat to you all later. Thanks a lot.